Scientific study of Vedas, creation of universe, starting from Brahma, class 23. We know, as per Veda, before creation, there was only one thing, that was Brahman, which is Nirguna, without any quality. With a desire to create a universe, there emerges from it a driving force. This is responsible for the creation of this universe. That is the input. It first flow in the form of a wave. So in the case of wave, there are two parts. Rise, a portion which is rise above the x-axis, and the portion below the x-axis. This above portion we can treat as creative force, which is responsible for all creation of this universe. Since everything is created in dual, in pair with opposite qualities, and also based on Newton's third law, there is a negative force which flows in the downward direction. That is called the Mahadeva. And in between this, there is a point called, that is Saptaguna, which is named as Narayana or Vishnu. So this driving force divided into three. Brahma, which is responsible, this is the driving force which is responsible for creation, and the other one is the opposing force or reaction as per Newton's law, or Tamoguna. It is named in Purana as Mahadeva, and in between the stationary portion is called, that point is called Vishnu or Narayana. Thus, this wave continues to flow in the direction of x-axis. That is what we see in the last class. Now, let us go to certain sutras in Veda. First, we go to Rig Veda Mandal 10, 1 of Sutta 130. Let us go through it.
ഋഗ്വേദ മണ്ഡലം 10 സൂക്തം 130-ൽ 1. ഋഷി പ്രജാപതിയുടെ പുത്രൻ യജ്ഞൻ, ദേവത പ്രജാപതി, ഛന്ദസ് ഗായത്രി, തൃഷ്ടുപ്പ്. യോ യജ്ഞോ വിശ്വത സ്തന്തുഭിസ്തത ഏകശതം ദേവകർമ്മേഭിർ ആയതഃ ഇമേ വയന്തി പിതരോയ ആയയുഃ പ്രവയാപ വയത്യാസതേ തതേ.
Says that, so this driving force flow in the x-axis direction, then as per this sutta it says that, like a weaving cloth, it flow in all direction along the x-axis and also in the y-axis. So it flows in all directions. Suppose this is the starting point, it will flow in this direction and in downward direction. This is one way, and it will propagate in both directions. Then from here, a wave goes in the upward direction and is opposite in the downward direction, and it propagates. Likewise, this is like a weaving clothes using thread. Likewise, this sukta says it wave both in lengthwise and widthwise. That is, along in x-axis and in y-axis, due to which a net is formed, net-like structure is formed throughout this space. In another place, it says that it is like a web, like a spider. From his body comes a thread, and he waves the web like that. This wave goes in horizontal direction, that is along the x-axis, and also in the y-axis, and fills the whole space like a net. So a net is covered throughout this space. That is what it says. Then let us go to Rigveda Mandal 10, Sukta 2 of in 2 of Sukta 130. Let us see what it says.
ഋഗ്വേദം മണ്ഡലം 10 സൂക്തം 130 2 പുമാൻ ഏനം തനുത ഉത്കൃണന്തി പുമാൻ വിദഗ്നേ അധിനാഗേ അസ്മിൻ ഇമേ മയൂഖ ഉപ സേതുരു സദസാമാനി ചക്രോസ് തസരാണ്യോതവേ.
It also says that, like waving a cloth, it waves a net-like structure throughout this universe. This is based on Samaveda principle. There are 3 Vedas: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda. In Samaveda, such things are coming. It also says that this is the foundation for the Jyotirmaya Yajna. Jyotirmaya Yajna means through this, it is going to create this whole planetary system. It will change into electron, proton, then atom-wise, and then planets. And these planets are going to arrange in a definite way and covers the entire space and divides it into 7 worlds. That is the final stage of this creation. So, all these are going to take place through this network structure. It also says all Devas mean everything that is created in this universe came from this structure. So this is the basic thing. This network structure which covers throughout this universe is the foundation for the creation of this universe. From this, electron, proton, etc. was created, and then electron and electron and proton combines to form atom, then molecule, and so on. Finally, this universe. So every devas or everything are there in this structure. It lies in this structure. Then let us go to Rigveda Mandal 10, 3 of Sukta 130. Let us see what it says.
ഋഗ്വേദം മണ്ഡലം 10 സൂക്തം 130 3 ഋഷി പ്രജാപതിയുടെ പുത്രൻ യജ്ഞൻ, ദേവതാ പ്രജാപതി, ഛന്ദസ്, ഗായത്രി, തൃഷ്ടുപ്പ്. കാസി പ്രമാ പ്രതിമ കിം നിദാനമാജ്യം കിമാസീത് പരിധി ക ആസീത് ഛന്ദ കിമാസീത് പ്രൗഗം കിമുക്തം യദ്ദേവാ ദേവമയജന്ത വിശ്വേ.
It asks us about one question, that is, what is the limit of this waving of this net-like structure? There is no limit. We don't know what is the limit. It goes as it like. This wave spread throughout this space in x direction and y direction, and it fits the whole space, and there is no limit, there is no end to it. We don't know what is the end. That is what it says. Then let us go to Rigveda Mandal 10, 3 of Sukta 69. Let us see what it says.
ഋഗ്വേദം മണ്ഡലം 10 സൂക്തം 69 3. ഋഷി സുമിത്രൻ ദേവതാഗ്നി ഛന്ദസ് ജഗതി തൃഷ്ടുപ്പ് യത്തേ മനുര്യതനീകം സുമിത്രസമീധേ അഗ്നി തദിദം നവീയഃ സരേവശ്ചോച സഗിരോ ജുഷസ്വ സവാജം ദർശി സൈഹശ്രബോധ.
Say that through this energy or Agni, and from it there came the rays or waves-like structure, which is responsible for the creation of this new universe. A new universe is going to create. So Agni is responsible for it, or its rays or waves are responsible for it. So it goes to expand continuously, and due to which a beautiful universe is going to create. So as per these suktas, the steps are clear. Before creation there is only Brahman, no characteristics. At the time of creation, a wave came out, a driving force came out, and it flow in the form of wave. This driving force can be divided into 3, that is Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattoguna, or Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwaran. One is the force responsible for creation of all these activities, and the other is Mahadeva, which is the negative of creation. That is, every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So it is, that also is a wave. One wave is in the that Brahma is in this form, and the Mahadeva is in the downward, just opposite. And its junction there is the equilibrium state, that is Vishnu. This is as per Newton, first, second and third law that we have already seen. It is Sattva, Rajo, Tamo. Then wave continues to propagate in the x-axis. Then it propagates in the y-axis. Thus a network structure, a net-like structure is formed. Throughout this universe, there is no limit to it. From this, the next step of creation, that is from this electron proton, that is, this is energy form. From this, electron protons from fundamental particles are to be formed, then atoms are to be formed, molecules are to be formed. From this, with this complex structures are to be formed, then these planetary systems are to be formed, and the whole universe. In this universe there are 7 worlds. So all these are to be formed from this basic structure, that is net-like structure. It is like a web of a spider. Yes, it is like creating the web from the body of a spider. The spider, from his body comes a thread, and it weaves the complete web. Likewise, from this Brahman, a force came out, and it spread in the form of a net. That is like waving a cloth using thread in the horizontal and vertical direction, in two axes. Now let us go to the further step. So this is the present stage. A network or a net-like structure is formed throughout the space, horizontally and vertically. From this, the other steps are following that we can see in the next class.